I'm going to call to order the Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, 6 p.m. school board meeting. And please rise for a moment of silence. Today, the colors were presented by FBC JROTC Cadet Master Sergeant Torrance, Buchanan, Lieutenant Colonel Rivera, Airman Basic Corbett, and advisors Master Sergeant Gardner Holland, Lieutenant Colonel Melvin Baskerville. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to invite Logan Walden to sing the national anthem, student from FPC.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Its red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, we will start with a roll call.
Colleen Conklin, present.
Cheryl Massero, present.
Sally Hunt.
Christy Chong, present.
Will Furry, present.
LaShaka Moore.
Okay.
Mr. Fury, could you let people know there's lots of seats? There's some seats up here in the
Absolutely, yeah. We have plenty of seats up front if you want to come forward and sit down. All right, do we have any special announcements?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll move on to Spotlight. And we're going to start off with Superintendent Strategic Plan Spotlight 3.01.
My spotlight will be 3.05 when we spotlight our talent, so I will yield my comments until that time.
Thank you, Superintendent. Then we will move on to 3.02, Flagler County Education Foundation Spotlight. Welcome, Ms. Rizzo.
Welcome. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Good evening, School Board, Superintendent, and Chair Furry. The Flagler County Education Foundation would like to spotlight a few key items tonight. First, related to this afternoon's conversation and the informational workshop on summer educational programs. We're pleased to announce that the Flagler County Education Foundation has secured funding for a 5-week program focused on literacy and math, which will also include some field trips at Carver Gym called Great Minds. This is the flyer I've just given to you. It's aimed for students K through 5, and if anyone would like more information, reach out to Benita Robinson. There are spots still available. This is a free of charge program to students, and we're very excited to be able to provide this. Second, our Take Stock in Children Scholarship Mentoring Program is prepared to welcome 50 new students this year. This will double the size of our program. This provides students with a 4-year mentor and also a 4-year college scholarship if they complete the program successfully, which means we need 50 mentors. So if anyone is interested, please reach out to Selena Hernandez at extension 1292 at the school board office, and she will be able to give you more information. On that note, we're pleased to announce that we delivered over 182 scholarships last week to our seniors. We actually had to split the night into 2 nights. One night was FPC and one night was Matanzas High School. Those scholarships totaled over $400,000 thanks to our community and their gracious hearts. Lastly, the foundation, who is led by our amazing board of directors, was privileged to support the celebration of our Flagler School's retirees earlier this evening. We deeply value our retirees and are committed to keeping them connected to the exciting developments happening within our district. We thank you for the opportunity to provide a spotlight tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rizzo. Okay, so we'll move on to 3.03, School Volunteer Award presenter Travis Lee. This is for the Florida Department of Education Volunteer of the Year District winner.
Greetings, Board and Superintendent. I'm here from Rimfire, and we're here to present the Outstanding School Volunteer Award for the Florida Department of Education for one of our outstanding volunteers, Ms. Mary Lee Pallett. Ms. Mary Lee actually retired from the district working in the Media Center at Wadsworth in 2018, but she retired and went to work supporting Rimfire and volunteering for our students. She did a lot of valiant work with repairing our books when books were damaged, even during the COVID years, meeting our media specialists to help support. Also supported our Sunshine State Readers Program, which we've had more readers this year than we've had in any other year. So she has definitely been felt and definitely supported the readers of Rimfire and definitely supported the district with her collaboration with our media specialists. So Ms. Mary Lee Pallett, this award is for Outstanding School Volunteer for the Florida Department of Education.
As we prepare for a picture, we also had another Outstanding School Volunteer Award for Mr. Jeremy Hurley. He is not here today, but he volunteers at Buddy Taylor Middle School and Indian Trails Middle School. So thank you so much, Ms. Mary Lee, and thank you so much, Jeremy Hurley. Thank you.
They got to get organized. They got to get organized up there. And by, here we go. Big smiles, guys. Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, we are going to move on to 3.04, Crime Stoppers presenter Thomas Houlihan. Welcome, Mr. Houlihan.
Good evening, Chair Furry, School Board Member, Superintendent Moore. Tonight, I do have the distinct honor to present our 2024 Flagler School winners for the Crime Stoppers of Northeast Florida. There is each division. There's elementary, middle, and high school division. I do believe we have some winners here tonight. So I am going to ask Mr. Spencer Hathaway to say a few words from the State Attorney's Office, and we do have some other of our Crime Stopper board members. If you're not aware, I do have my nice little board member tag. So my other duties, I am a board member for Crime Stoppers of Northeast Florida. I appreciate it. So Spencer.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Madam Superintendent, we appreciate the time this evening to recognize the wonderful artists that Flagler County Schools have to provide a community. My name is Spencer Hathaway. I'm representing State Attorney R.J. Larissa tonight, as well as the Board of Crime Stoppers. I'm the board president for another few months anyway. So it's a privilege to be here tonight to award these scholarships, or their checks, but we're going to call them scholarships tonight. Crime Stoppers poster contest was born out of the terrible tragedy that was Columbine High School, in an effort to get posters in schools so that students, if they see something, they say something, they can stop something. Violence, bullying, negative attitudes towards other folks in their school system. These posters are intended to let the students know that there is a place they can go. They can call and remain anonymous. They can text even now. We have an app that they can send the messages in. If they see a weapon, if they see violence, if they see this bullying attitudes going on in school, that there is somewhere they can go, and there are folks that are going to come to their aid. And that's what Crime Stoppers is all about, stopping crime, supporting our students, and supporting our schools. So State Attorney R.J. Larissa is a huge supporter of this, and he appreciates everyone allowing us to come tonight and do this on his behalf and on behalf of the board.
All right. We will start with the elementary division, and I will say each Old Kings Elementary did sweep the elementary division. So in third place, Keenan Bonner. I did speak. I don't know if Keenan is here tonight, but I did speak to all the parents. In second place, Miles Foster. Is Miles here? There. Congratulations. Miles, I'm going to give you your original artwork. Yeah, that's the important guy right there. And in first place, Bernardo Andrade. For our middle school division, in third place, Aaron Perry. Is Aaron here? All right. In second place, Sophie Castro. And in first place for our middle school division, Amanda Wu. All right, for the high school division, I will say for our elections office, I think FPC did sweep this, but for the Crime Stoppers, Matanzas swept the Crime Stoppers poster. I do believe that has something to do with Mr. Beckett possibly retiring last year. But in, let's see, in third place, Klein Hansen. Klein, yours was digital, so. Okay. In second place in the Flagler High School division, Chloe Cruz, yes. And in first place, a ninth grade student, so hopefully we'll be expecting more out of him from Matanzas High School, Christopher Pacerno. Congratulations. Thank you. We did have no grand prize winners, unfortunately, this year, but St. John's did sweep that. So we are going to make sure that we do have a new community engagement specialist. Sabrina Crosby took pride in this a few years back. So we are going to make sure that we are hopefully have some grand prize winners next year. So thank you.
We want to point out third place got $100, second place got $150, and first place got $200. So anybody that's in the audience wants to participate next year.
Congratulations, very talented artists.
And grand prize is an additional $500, students.
Nice. I appreciate the display of the artwork this way. It's so much nicer for everybody to see. So thank you for doing that.
I guess we move you all the way down here. Let's move down this way about 5 or 6 feet. Everybody walk this way for me. Keep on walking, guys. Doing great, doing great. I can see everybody's face. There you go. Good job. Oh, one more time. One more time. I'm ready for you. Thank you.
Okay, great job. Very talented artists that we have here. So now we're going to move on to 3.05, Flagler School Retiree Spotlight. Mr. Walker, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Moore, Chairman Furry, school board members. Tonight, I have the distinct honor of spotlighting our outstanding employees who are retiring from Flagler Schools. From last year to this year, we have approximately 55 retirees that we are highlighting, with over 1,000 years of collective service to Flagler students. I would like to thank our HR team for collaborating with the Flagler County Ed Foundation and providing a wonderful event this evening that you were all able to be a part of. I will start by calling the names of the retirees in attendance, and I ask that they approach the dais for a group picture. And then following that, I will read the names of the retirees who are not able to make it with us tonight. All right. So from transportation, we have Miss Lynette Lowry. From Matanzas High School, we have Mr. Fred Terry. From Matanzas High School, we have Mr. Tony Benvenuto. From Wadsworth Elementary, we have Mr. William Bianco. From FPC, we have Miss Johanna Davis. And our former community engagement specialist, Miss Angela Dawson. From Matanzas High School, Mr. Thomas Hall, or Major Hall. From our IS team, we have Mr. Mark Saltmarsh. From FTC, we have Miss Pam Surya. From FPC, we have Mr. Jim Sagine. From Old Kings Elementary, we have Mr. Michael Taylor. From Food Service, we have Miss Robin Alverson. And then the next three are going to come from Old Kings Elementary. So we have Miss Diane Archibee. We have Miss Margaret Campanella. We have Coach Michael D. Ashberg. From Wadsworth Elementary, we have Miss Deborah Crispin. From our Student Services team, we have Miss Cindy Moore. And then we have Miss Patricia Philbin. And then lastly, for those in attendance, we have Miss Laura Schiller from Old Kings Elementary. All right, we'll go ahead and gather for a group picture, guys. There's so many of you.
Just confirming we did not miss anyone in the audience, right?
Help them move them together.
Oh, Miss Yolanda Alvarez. I apologize, folks. From FPC, come on over.
Let's do this. Do me a favor. Can we take 5 guys on each end and we'll walk them up?
Sure.
Guys. I didn't want to have to stand on Mercury to take it. All right, let's make sure I can see everybody. Excellent, guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Stand by. There we go. Everyone can see me. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Can we give another round of applause for our amazing...
Now, as we kind of settle in, as I mentioned prior, there are some retirees from this past year that weren't able to be here tonight, but I do want to take the opportunity to share their names so that they can be showcased as well.
Thank you. They're all leaving. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
So we have Mr. Greg Dentler from Indian Trails Middle School, Miss Lori Decker from Indian Trails Middle School. He was my teacher too. We have Miss Shelley Martin from the GSB, Miss Joanne Germano from Finance, Miss Helga Diaz from Bunnell Elementary, Miss Mary Allar from FTC, Mr. James Snow from Transportation, Mr. Vito Amato from FTC, Mr. Stephen Cairns from Rimfire Elementary, Miss Agnes DeCruz from Food Service, Mr. Daniel Grajales from Custodial, Mr. George Constance from Old Kings Elementary, Miss Lynn Mello from Plant Services, Mr. and Mrs. David and Tracy Morris, Miss Linda Muir from Buddy Taylor Middle School. From FPC, we have Mr. Frank Santana, Ed Tutak, and Grace Tutak. From Matanzas High School, we have Sylvia Ziegler. From FPC, we have Miss Leslie Appleman. From Indian Trails Middle School, we have Miss Connie Armstrong. Representing Food Service is Miss Joy Dobbins. From Custodial Services, we have Brian Fitzgerald. From Matanzas High School, we have Miss Noel Bethay. From Wadsworth Elementary, we have Miss Liz Stevens. From Bunnell Elementary, we have Miss Marion Ross. From Flagler, we have Miss Nancy Galati. From FPC, we have Miss Lori Normandin. Also from FPC, we have Miss Linda Longo. And then from Rimfire Elementary School, we have Shannon Long. From Indian Trails Middle School, we have Miss Suzanne Haben. And from FPC, we have Miss Barbara Ryan. And then our last one from Bunnell Elementary School is Miss Laura Petrigula. So thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Board.
Okay, so we're going to move on to approval of minutes, 4.01 to 4.03. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve?
Okay, I have need a second.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Massaro and a second by Ms. Chong. All in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously. Do we have any additions or changes to the agenda?
I do not.
Okay. So then we will move on to public comment. I will remind everyone that this is for agenda items only. There will be public comment for anything.
We got the first and second.
We did the vote. Yeah. So the public comment is for agenda items only. Do we have anybody signed up for public comment for any of the agenda items tonight? No. No, okay. So then we will move on past public comment and move on to our consent agenda. We have, I just want to remind the public that we have workshopped these items extensively prior to tonight, so this section will move quite quickly. And so with that said, we will move.
I'm sorry, sir. We do have one person signed up for public comment for an agenda item. We have Ms. Liz Diaz.
Okay. Ms. Diaz, would you please come
I do
forward?
apologize.
No problem.
You sure do.
Welcome.
Good evening, Board, Chair Will Furry, Superintendent Moore. The potential increases in the insurance costs is a pressing issue that affects not only the financial stability of our educational system, but also the well-being of our dedicated staff members. We acknowledge the increases are necessary to not bankrupt our self-insurance plan and deplete our insurance reserve fund, one that is running significantly over budget for this year and next. I urge the board to seriously consider the proposal for the Flagler County Wellness Center for employees and dependents on the plan that serves to mitigate the costs for these insurance plans. In light of the recent ratification by the Instructional Bargaining Unit, many employees expressed their concerns about the increased insurance costs, especially prior to salary negotiations. The additional out-of-pocket costs puts the strains on our financial well-being. With consideration to these challenges, I believe that approving the Flagler County Wellness Clinic is a proactive step towards mitigating the effects of raising insurance costs, investing in the preventative care and accessible healthcare services that lead to long-term savings for the district, and promote a culture of wellness within and among our employees. I encourage the board to seize the opportunity to support our educators and establish the Flagler County Wellness Center. Let's work together to ensure a healthier and more sustainable future for our school community. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. But we don't allow applause during public comment. So, thank you. So now we will move on to our consent agenda. That is finance number 7. So we're going to be looking for a motion to approve.
Move approval.
So I was going to say 7.01 through 7.09. I have a motion by Dr. Conklin. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Hunt. All in favor to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. So we'll move on to 8, technology and innovation consent, 8.01 to 8.02. Motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Massaro. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Dr. Conklin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Academic services consent, 9.01 through 9.04. Need a motion?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Ms. Chong. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hunt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Operational consent, 10.01 through 10.02. Need a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
A motion by Dr. Conklin and a second by Ms. Massaro. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Human Resources, number 11.01 through 11.03. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion by Ms. Chong and a second by Ms. Massaro. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Superintendent consent, 12.01. I need a motion.
Move approval.
I have a motion by Dr. Conklin. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hunt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So it passes unanimously. Okay, now we're going to move to 18, Human Resource Services Action. So here we have 18.01, Request Board Approval of Insurance Committee Recommendations. Is Ms. O'Brien coming up to speak? Yes, okay.
Dr. O'Brien.
Dr. O'Brien. It's got a nice ring to it.
Good evening, Superintendent Moore, Chair Furry, and Board. So this first item, it's the recommendation of the Insurance Committee that all current plan designs remain the same for the 24-25 school year with the zero cost improvement with the vision plan. The committee also recommends changing the member services provider from Quantum Health to Communitas.
I'll do a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Massaro. Need a second?
Second.
Okay, second from Ms. Chong. Is there any discussion on the action item?
It's just ridiculous, some of the rates. I mean, the rates are just getting insane, especially for families. Yeah. But
Okay, that is an absolute. And so we'll call the vote. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. And we'll move on to 8.02, insurance rates for next year and current financial status of FCS self-insurance. Dr. O'Brien.
Sure, and this one is connected with 18.04. So this was a recommendation that you consider all available options to determine how best to pay for the expected increase in overall insurance plan costs.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Dr.
Need a
O'Brien?
motion.
Need a,
Motion to
bring a
approve.
motion?
Second. Now I can talk.
Okay, so we have a motion by Ms. Chong and a second by Ms. Massaro. Any discussion?
I guess I just want to, Dr. Conklin already mentioned this, but it's already been said, but I mean, every single person up here is very much hoping we can figure out health insurance costs, and it is fundamental to a family and their health, and we want people to be able to afford a family vacation. And so I guess I did want to just share, not just Dr. Conklin and not just Chair Furry, but just all of us up here are hoping that district leadership has a year-over-year plan to make sure that we are combating this really challenging cost. Certainly, I'm on the plan with my family. I pay for the family plan as part of the school board, and it's a lot. So, if there were other decisions, I hope everybody knows we would absolutely make them. But so anyway, thank you for letting me share.
Okay, we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Reluctant. Yeah.
So we'll move on to 18.03, Healthcare Center recommendations as a result of the recent request for proposal. Dr. O'Brien again.
It's the recommendation of the school district's insurance committee to the school board to accept the recommendation of the RFP committee to approve entering into contract negotiations with Everside Marathon Health to provide an on-site health center for Flagler schools.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I have a motion for Ms. Massaro. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, second from Ms. Hunt. Any discussion or comment?
I just want to share, I was actually going to vote no on this proposal, and I'll tell you why. Well, let me first say why I'm voting in favor of it, because of the overwhelming support of the teachers and our support staff. So thank you for coming up and sharing your comments, because it kind of solidified the direction that I was going in supporting the item. But I do want to say publicly, it is critical if we're going to invest in this as a tool, because we attempted this once before with a clinic service. But if we do not use it, if people don't actually utilize it, then it is for naught. It is, the purpose of doing this is to try to get control of some of the numbers, right? And having the clinic should help drive down our costs. But it's not going to help it if people don't use it. So I'm hoping that we really, as far as an education plan, and I know that you all are talking about a communication plan, an education plan for faculty, teachers, staff, everybody. But I would really encourage all of our folks to, if we invest in this, to please utilize the clinic. That's it.
I'll just add that I've approached this as a healthcare provider, and I see the benefit, how we can help improve everyone's health. If people use it, like Dr. Conklin is saying, we can prevent a lot of things from happening that are far worse later on, prevent ER visits. We could save a lot of money, help manage a lot of chronic conditions. So I'm excited to see how this works out, but we do need compliance, and we need for people to use it. Thanks.
Yeah, and I will agree with my colleagues here that originally I was a no when I first saw the numbers, and then I started researching, and I talked to our experts, and there is no other real option for our district at this time to try to save money in health insurance. We also have to remain competitive with our surrounding area, because that's going to help us recruit. You saw how many people retired today. We have to replace those people. And the only way we can do that is by being attractive both financially and with benefits. And when both the north of us and south of us already have health clinics, you can see how important that is to our employees and our staff. And they want this. And they're willing to pay a little more to get it. So we are in the position to make it happen. And that's why I switched my original concern after getting the necessary information.
If I can just quickly share for those who maybe haven't been following the workshops, I just want to share a personal story to how my understanding of how this health center will benefit employees, and please correct me if I get anything wrong. I have, I think, an underactive thyroid. I'm somewhere on the thyroid spectrum, like I'm sure somebody else in this room. What this clinic will mean for our very busy employees is that our employee who is on this plan can go to the health center, see a provider, get their lab work done, which conditions like thyroid or I imagine diabetes, there's a lot of lab work, right? Because we have to make sure our levels are okay, so it's not just a one time a year, or like a lipid panel, for instance. So there's a lot of lab work. So I can see a provider, I can get my lab work done, I can even get, so levothyroxine is something that a lot of people are on for thyroid. I can get all of that done at no additional cost. And for me, there's a lot of stress for me because in the medical community, there's not a lot of transparency on cost. So I a lot of times wonder, if I go and have these labs done, what ultimately is this going to cost? Because I find health insurance very confusing. I try to read the material, and it's just very confusing. What peace of mind for me to know that I can go to my Flagler School's health center, see a provider, get the lab work done, and even leave with a prescription. And it's zero. It's included as part of my health insurance. And so I just wanted to share that to maybe if someone hasn't been following, just to have a little bit of a better understanding of what this health center will mean for our employees. And so, Angela, if you can correct anything that I've said that might be wrong.
Got it.
Awesome.
We're all set. You got it.
Thank you. I just wanted to give maybe a real world example of what this will mean should it pass for our employees. So thank you.
Thank you all for your comments. So I also have had some very big concerns about this. You know, I am concerned when, you know, any government entity embarks in something like this that the private sector typically handles, and that we become in a way of competition with the private sector. And you know, out of the gate, everybody's excited and everything, but it's really the long haul that matters, because the key here is that we maintain consistency in this health center, because if we don't, then people are going to choose other private sector options. And I will also echo my colleagues that it will be the only way this succeeds is participation. It is paramount, and you know, I will say I do want to thank staff first of all, because they worked very hard to put this presentation together for us. This was a mind bender. I mean, the numbers that we had to crunch to get to this vote tonight, I can't even put into words. And I know this is a difficult decision for every single board member up here, and I know that everyone will do what they think is best. I don't want to, regardless of the way the vote goes, I don't want to discount our employees for the desire for this, because I can see why you would want this. And my concerns have to do more with our current financial health in our reserves, because our upfront cost has to be recouped over a period of time. And so just like any business, you have to have a burn rate of cash while you're trying to grow. And so my hopes, though, if this passes tonight, that it will succeed and there will be high participation. But I just wanted to share with the public where my concerns lie with this health center. So if everybody said what they want to say, well, I'll go ahead and call the vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Motion passes 4-1. Okay, so we will now move on to 18.04. FESPA and FCEA insurance rates 2024-25 school year. Mr. Friedman, Ms. Bozeman, and Dr. O'Brien.
Good evening, Board, Chair Furry, Superintendent Moore. As discussed in the workshop earlier this afternoon, our FCEA and FESPA entered into a collective bargaining on the 13th of May, and we reached a tentative MOU for medical insurance rates for 2024 and 25, what is attached. It was recently ratified by FESPA at 86% and by FCEA at 72%.
Okay. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept those recommended rate of 7.5%.
Motion from Ms. Massaro. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
You know, just none of us like this. You know, nobody wants to raise insurance rates, and we've discussed this thoroughly. I'd even hoped, we talked about healthcare sharing, all kinds of things, but I know the laws, I believe, require we have to have, you know, this kind of health insurance. I hope in the future something changes or we can come up with something different. But
And just to note, there were several years where premiums were not increased. So this is kind of a catch-up at this point here. So it's unpleasant, but it's something that has to be done. So if anybody else have anything to add, then I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, so that appears to conclude our business for tonight. So we will now move on to public comment. Has anybody signed up for public comment?
Yes, Chair. First public comment, we'll have Avery Mahone.
All right, please come forward.
Good job.
Hi, my name's Avery Mahan, and I've been swimming at Fluid for 3 years. Swimming at Fluid has taught me so much, like commitment. I'm in the gold group, so I come 5 days a week for an hour and a half and each day, and that has taught me so much about commitment. Swimming has also taught me that hard work and dedication pays off. A great example is when I made flags, which is a state meet that you have to make super fast times for. After I tried and failed and tried again and again, it felt so good to finally achieve my goal. And I will forever remember the feeling of making that time, which was a 37.65 in the 50 butterfly. And when I made that time, it opened up an opportunity for some of my best friends to come and swim at flags too. That's another thing. Swimming has given me the opportunity to make the bestest of best friends that I have probably never met outside of Fluid. Another thing swimming has taught me is responsibility. Before practice, I have to make sure that I get towels, a water, cap, and goggles into my bag, and all of my equipment ready to go. I also have to make sure my schoolwork is done before practice. Swimming at Fluid is also fun. The coaches put on events like Hot Chocolate Thursday and Popsicle Thursday. The coaches also put on a ton of different socials that are really fun. At a meet, we all cheer for each other no matter what group they're in. I've tried other sports like dance and softball, but my passion is with competitive swimming. Swimming is important to me and all of my teammates on Fluid, and because it's important to the youth of Flagler County, I hope it's important to you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I just want to remind the audience, we do not have applause during public comment. We do have the rules posted up here. I just ask that everybody follows them, please. Next comment.
Joy Mahone.
Okay.
Same topic, swimming pool.
Hi. Just to give everyone some context, Fluid Swim Team is the team that swims out of the Belterre Swim and Racket Club. My name is Joy Mahan, and I've lived in Flagler County for the past 18 years. I have 2 children currently in the Flagler school system, and I'm a proud mom, Avery, of a Flagler Fluid Swim Team member. I want to just take a few minutes to stress how important the pool and the swim team is to my child and to our family. My daughter has been swimming with the swim team for the past 3 years and competitively for the last 2. She currently attends practice 5 nights a week, and in those 5 nights, she swims for an hour and a half. Practice typically ends at 8 p.m. Over the past few years, our family has worked around the schedule of swim practice so that we can still have family dinners and finish any homework before they go to practice, as it pushes up against bedtime before they go to school the next day. During these practice times, we may have 4 or 5 kids in one swim lane at one time. And while we're very grateful for the pool that we have, with so many kids already practicing in a lane, it puts them at a disadvantage compared to other swim teams in the state with larger pools, diving blocks, and dedicated practice times. But our kids are committed and they make the most out of their practices. And we have many amazing coaches who are dedicated to our children and their swimming as well. For many years, this pool has shared its resources with many other community and school groups. Sometimes it feels like we are the forgotten sport in Flagler County. But to the 100 swim families, from young kids all the way up through high school and even our masters swimming, swimming is a sport of choice, and we're dedicated to watching our swimmers thrive. With all the talk of the future pool and how to arrange schedules to accommodate different groups, I just wanted to remind everyone that we're here. The pool isn't just a concrete hole with water. It represents coaches and families in Flagler County. It represents a sport other than baseball, soccer, or pickleball in Flagler County. When making decisions about the pool and how to accommodate all groups, I would encourage everyone to remember our kids who already make the most of what they have because they love swimming. Thank you.
Aurora Purdy, swim.
Welcome.
As you know, my name's Aurora Purdy. I swim for the Matanzas swim team, and I also swim for Fluid as a club. My mom is the head coach of swimming at Fluid, and she has been starting this team for 5 years now. I've been there by her side, and she has put so much dedication into this pool, and not knowing that she has all this time in her swimmers, trying to make the most of what we have. I also play basketball, and we also have facilities for basketball and other sports like track. They newly got the track redone, and we might get the gym redone in Matanzas as well. Swimming is also not as much supported through sports as well. We do not have a swim pool on campus, so it makes it really hard to get to practices as well. So having the Belterre Swim and Racket Club is one of the only ways we can get there. And for fluid, we also have time, I swim for the platinum group. I swim usually Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. We do the gym throughout the pool and as well as the swim pool. I think swimming means a lot to this community, even through our lifeguard swimming. So our lifeguards on the beach take and use this pool as well for training our swimming times and competing as well. Another reason why Belterra Swim Racket Club is impactful on our swimmers is we have a dangerous amount of drownings in Florida. And having a swim team allows kids of a younger age to be able to swim and be able to go to the beach and not be able to, not have a likely chance of drowning instead. Because swimming isn't important, even if it's through sports or just basic knowledge of how to swim. So Belterra Swim Racket Club is very important to this community, and I wanted to just say that. That's all.
Okay, this is the third time I've had to say it. We do have some rules here in the chamber, and I'm asking you to please to follow. We do want to hear from every single one of you, so I'm just asking you please follow the rules today. Next speaker, please.
Carrie Purdy, Belterra.
Welcome.
Thank you for allowing me to express my concerns and regarding the schedule of FTC swimming lessons at Belterra on the impact that it does have on Fluid. Fluid team has utilized these swim lanes at Belterra specifically in the same time slot for 5 years. We've deliberately operated when the facility is closed to avoid conflicts. Recently, it has been announced that FTC would begin scheduling swim lessons, which will require Fluid to relinquish 1 lane. Condensing our practices into 5 lanes, which means placing 7 to 8 youth swimmers in 1 lane. The facility handbook states that users are required to relinquish their permission to use the facility for a district event. It is unclear why swim lessons are being classified as a district event. This raises the question about the purposeful and the fairness of the Facilitron scheduling system if the facility usage can be overridden at any time. In 2019, Fluid Swim Team partnered with Flagler until 2022. Our team has significantly contributed to this pool. We have donated funds for the use for purchasing of lane lines and reels. We've provided proper flag poles at that facility, handling the pool covers on a day-to-day basis in the winter, putting them on and taking them off. Fluid Swim Team has proposed a solution to help manage the district's capital expenses and overhead of the Belterra facility. We seek to ensure the FTC swim lessons are scheduled within their operating hours without encroaching on our established time slots. This approach would prevent conflict and maintain the safety and sustainability of our team operations. We are pleased to see the FTC making strides in swim lesson education. However, these effects should not come at the expense of our team's well-being. We request that the district respect and support the team, acknowledging our contributions and ensuring fair usage of the facility. Our swim team supports FPC and Matanzas swim teams, aligning with the original spirit of ITT's intentions with gifting this facility to the district. This is our feeder team for our high schools, and we just would like your support on that. Thank you.
Avery Williams, Fluid Swim.
Welcome, Avery.
I think that everybody should have a chance to go on Fluid Swim Team. I've been on Fluid Swim Team for 3 years, and I've really enjoyed the endurance, and I've made a lot of friends doing swimming. And I think that everybody should have a chance to do it.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Aspen Lester.
Okay. So,
I'm sure we can come back,
yeah,
right?
come back to her. So we'll do
Okay,
group
Duncan
one.
Vanderbilt. Pool fluid.
Good evening and thank you. My name is Duncan Vanderbilt, and I just wanted to share a few minutes of my experiences here with swimming in Palm Coast and Flagler County. I can relate and appreciate all your individual efforts and commitments and sacrifices as part of the school board. I know we've done this, by choice, but we can certainly relate on our swim team. So thank you. My family is in its fourth year of participation with Flagler Fluid. I have two sons who've participated with Fluid. George, who swam with the high school and went on to FSU, where he swims with the intramural club, and Teddy, who is currently a senior to be here, and he has been the MVP the last 3 years, which is significant, and hopes to go on to do well at districts and regionals and states next year, and some of the same. Anyway, he's very fond of the camaraderie at the pool here, and has chosen to stay here versus go to other locations that might have more sophisticated facilities. His hope is really to contribute to the legacy and the growth of the swimming community here in the county and specifically the city. And I'm actually part of a group. We started a booster club to support the team. It's at best a break even in terms of providing these services to the multiple swimmers that we have. I also swim in the Masters group, and I'm part of that group that Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 a.m. gets up and takes the covers on and off so the rest of the world can use the pool. I mean, those covers are a lot of work to do, but we're happy to do it. When we first joined Fluid, it was part of the school district actually, and under some interesting circumstances it separated and kind of went its own way. But I'll tell you that Coach Carey has done an excellent job of making sure that the experience to the swimmers is seamless. They don't know that it's any separate entity, and it's really viewed as a feeder, like she said, to the schools, and has enabled them to be really strong competitors with the resources that they have. So you truly have a gift in Carrie and her selfless years of work. And when we do get the new pool built, I really think we should name it after her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's try Aspen Lester again. Is she here? Did we?
Welcome, Aspen. I want to lower that mic a little bit for her.
She's a little nervous. What I can say is we moved here about a year and a half ago in November of 2022. It's hard enough to pack up and move to a new school, let alone a new state and new friends, new all the things. Coach Carey had us on the swim team before we could even get the girls enrolled in school. So they took us in immediately. The coaches are incredible. I will say, I've got two daughters. My other one's back there. About a year ago, I was ready to pull her off because she was just struggling. And the coaches just stuck with her. And like Avery said, the camaraderie there is just incredible. My older daughter, the one that was struggling a year ago, ended up making 2 flag cuts last year as well and made it to state. So I just appreciate anything you can do to support the pool. It's all right.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Jamie
next.
Rosnos, Fluid Swim.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Jamie Rosnos. I have 4 kids on
Fluid. We moved here in 2021. Like she said, they started new schools, but we started on Fluid about a year ago. I have 2 of them that swim for FPC also. So it's really nice that they can swim throughout the whole year and get that practice for the school throughout the whole year. They've really enjoyed being on Fluid. They've met a lot of friends. It's taught them a lot of responsibility and discipline and physical fitness, and we've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Lenka Kopsakova. Fluid swim.
Welcome.
Thank you. I just want to apologize for any of our team members for clapping. That's what we normally do, and we scream and we get loud. We're passionate about our kids and kids winning. But anyways, my name is Lenka, and my daughter Mia has been swimming on the Fluid swim team for the last 4 years. This evening, our swimmers, their parents, and our coaches came here to ask for your support. Why? Because we choose to do something good, something better. Instead of allowing our kids to stay at home and sit in front of their phones and learning some bad things or picking up bad habits somewhere, we choose something better for our kids. These kids love swimming, and whether it shines or it rains, they are dedicated to swim practice because they want to get better, they want to do better, and because they are disciplined. Have you ever taken the time out of your busy schedules to come and see our kids swim? I understand your schedules are busy, but our kids are busy too. Some of our kids swim 6 days a week. Then they still have to study. My daughter has a piano lesson on top of it. She's an ambassador at school. We're busy too, but we chose tonight to come here and take the time away from our commitments to come and ask for your support, for your dedication to our kids, to do something better. And I really want to thank also our coach, Carrie, and all of our coaches for their dedication to our kids. It is phenomenal to see what they do and the excitement the kids have to see each other, to swim, to get better. Tonight, by the way, they needed to swim. They really needed to practice. You know why? Our swim meet is coming up next weekend. Our kids want to win. They want to drop times. They want to do better. They want to make us proud. They want to make our community proud. And yet we're here asking for your support. So please consider all of our parents and swimmers that have talked here tonight. We want you to do better and support us. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Mia Kopsakova. Fluid swim.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Mia, and I've been swimming for Fluid for 4 years. Something that swimming has taught me is perseverance. Like an example, every time I don't get a time that I like in swimming, my mom, my teammates, and all of my coaches always pump me up for my next swim. Swimming is a great workout because you're working out your entire body against the water. It also keeps your heart rate up and takes some stress off your body. This team isn't just a team, it's a family. Swimming has also taught me about dedication. Without dedication, I wouldn't be at swim meets or practices, and I would never get better. Swimming at Fluid has also got me to make a bunch of friends. Probably if I wasn't in Fluid, I probably wouldn't have met these friends. Swimming is great for all of us and our community. So we ask for your 100% support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ella and Maddie Yorkie. Did I say that right?
Hello, my name is Maddie Yorgi. I'm 11 years old and have been swimming for 5 years. Swimming is very important to me and others. This facility is important to the future of our swim team. I want to swim in high school, but none of the pools in our county meet the requirement to hold a swim meet. This month is Water Safety Month. We desperately need a facility to foster water safety. Coach Carey is trying to make that happen. Thank you for your time and support.
Thank you.
Swimming keeps kids off of their screen times and keeps them active, and it lets them compete against top swimmers and compete competitive swimming. Thank you. Sorry.
Claudette O'Dowd. Pool.
Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Thank you for listening. I wanted to speak on our swim team. My children have been with the swim team for almost 4 years in August, and I wanted to talk about the benefits of swim and why it's so important to these kids. Having 2 children on the spectrum, joining a team sport where like softball, which we've tried, it's a little different with swim. They're on a team, but they're focused on their time in their heads. So ever since that I've had my kids on the swim team, they've just thrived and they've flourished and have grown into a young man and my daughter, young woman. And I'm just so grateful that we have this team, and we really could use your support. I also wanted you all to keep in mind that when we swim with Fluid, when these children are in this team, we represent Flagler County. So their times that they obtain when they compete follow with them. And by any chance any of these kids end up on the Olympics, those times go on with them. So it's amazing to see. I just wanted to plea to you to let these kids have the times that they need for practice. And I really appreciate you listening to us, and these kids would really appreciate your support. This team means a lot to us. And I have so many words to say to you guys. It's like only 3 minutes. But I think I've been coming to you guys about this before in the past as well, and so I just want to keep expressing how important it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anna Tara, swim team.
I wanted to say that I've been on like 2 swim teams before, and I've done multiple sports, and I've been swimming at 5 years, and I wanted to say that swimming has like really helped me in sports and as a person. And thank you, Coach Carey, for teaching us.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Some folks are signing up, but it hasn't come through on the list
Okay.
here, so you may want to.
Mr. Lang, you would like to come forward? Go ahead.
Good evening, Board, Chair, Superintendent. So I'm going to make it quick. This has been a rough year for me and my family with the school district. My son hasn't been in school since mid-February. And come to find out that the district is losing an amazing teacher. So really, I just want to be on the record to say that Lacey Neiman, who's been teaching my son for 2 years, has been instrumental in his progress, in the whole class progress. I've been getting parents texting me for the last couple days. She saved the class in kindergarten because she kind of filled in. We went through 3 different teachers, and it was a mess. And I know some board members I've talked to at the time. It was ridiculous, and she saved the district. She put a good 2 years in, and for her not to get renewed on her contract this year. Now, I know there could be many reasons, and there can be this and that. I feel from the people that I've talked to in this district, not just at Rimfire, not just at FPC, the culture of the staff has to change. I believe Flagler Forward is propaganda. I don't know how forward we're going because Like I said, my son hasn't been in school since February. I am getting help. Dr. Halliday has been instrumental in helping with trying to do something. I'm not going to get into the logistics of why and things like that, but she is helping. But the school district lost a great teacher. Sometimes, I know maybe administration is not happy with her. Maybe other teachers aren't happy with her. But the fact of the matter is, that should be, you can work through that. If she's doing the best she can for the students that were there, and the changes that it made a difference. And this district, I hope another school will take her and pick her up for another position, because I know she's available for another position, because you'd be crazy to lose a staff member like her. I mean, it's absolutely insane. She was an amazing teacher. I trust her with my child. And let's face it, there's a lot of people I don't trust. Because you want us to bring our kids here and trust what's happening. I trusted her. I knew she wanted the best interest of my son. And you lost a great teacher. So, unfortunately, I mean, I wish I could come here and say, and this fluid thing, I love these kids. These kids deserve a right to swim, just to throw it out there. I didn't want to be, I didn't want to mess up the rhythm. But please, you lost a great teacher. And I've seen a lot of resignations today. And that's horrible, because I thought we had a teacher shortage. So, and now you have all these retirees, and we're going to need help in Flagler.
Thank you for your comments.
Nelson Rojas, Fluid Swim.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Nelson Rojas, and I swim at Fluid, and this is it's about to be my first year swimming, and there's like so much people swimming now. It's like a lot of people's like coming in, and like almost like all the lanes are filling up pretty quickly. And it would be amazing to have some sort of support on that, because there's like plenty of other kids coming in a short amount of time, and yeah, like we would support the support. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next.
Keaton Lasicki, swim.
Ladies and gentlemen of the school board, my name is Keaton Lasicki, and I've been a part of the Flagler Fluid swim team for 3 years now. Flagler Fluid is more than just a place to swim laps or compete in meets, it's a second home. A family that supports and uplifts each other through every stroke and kick. As a member of the Flagler Fluid family, I've experienced firsthand the transforming power of this team. It's not just about swimming, it's about personal growth, discipline, and resilience. But Flagler Fluid isn't just important to me. It's important to our entire community. Our swim team represents the best of us, dedication, sportsmanship, and a commitment to excellence. Through our competitions and community events, we bring people together, fostering a sense of belonging and pride in our city. Flagler Fluid is a place where dreams are born and nurtured. It's where young swimmers learn the value of hard work and determination. It's where friendships are forged that will last a lifetime. It's where we celebrate victories, big and small, within our community. In a world that often feels divided, Flagler Fluid is a reminder that we are stronger together. It's a reminder that when we come together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. So let us continue to support and cherish Flagler Fluid, not just for what it is, but for what it represents. It represents the very best of us. I would love to represent our community in which my family and friends reside in. Unfortunately, our pool doesn't have the same equipment or necessary items that other pools in our surrounding areas do. Thank you for everything that I've mentioned, and thank you for considering. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Jason Lasicki, Flagler's Fluid Swim Team.
Distinguished board. So that was my son, Keaton. He is one of 3 sons that I have that are either in or have been a part of this club. everybody's been very eloquent about describing what the experience has been like on swim, but what they're not telling you as part of the story is swim is super hard and is super grueling and is monotonous and sometimes maniacal. But these kids show up every day for an hour and a half with an attitude of, I can be better, and it's incremental, and it's partial seconds. And you don't improve without consistency, without relentlessness, and without a drive inside of you that you're not going to get just from yourself or from your parents, but these dedicated coaches that show up every single day, rain or shine, really early on a Saturday morning, or really late after they've already put in a full day's work. Swimming really embraces the best and the reality of what life is, and that is learn to get along with others, find the camaraderie in it, push yourself really hard, and look at all the technical merits that come along with being a part of a team and a sport that pushes you individually as well. I applaud what everybody has said about what it means to them individually and as a group, but there is a big difference between swimming and having fun and being driven in competitive swim, and this Belterre pool gives us the opportunity to come together as a family and to grow these young individuals to enhance every aspect of their social being, physical being, and just relationships across the board. So I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes public comment, or at least those that signed up.
All right. Then we will close public comment and move on to board member requests. Seeing none?
Chair Furry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity. Given the number of comments that we just had related to Flagler Fluid, Superintendent Moore, this might be a question for you. We've now, as a board, heard from multiple, all age groups have come into this room regarding swimming and swimming facilities. My question is, what partnership can we, and maybe you already are, and that's maybe what I'm asking. When I hear a lot of this, I think of the Palm Coast City Council. I think of the Board of County Commissioners. I think that this county perhaps is underserved from an aquatic facilities standpoint. But I'm taking it all in, right? I'm still learning. But we do live in Florida. It makes sense that people of all ages are swimming 12 months out of the year for the most part here. Is there something that we can do to be a partner with other municipalities on kind of collectively figuring out perhaps a multi-year plan, or, how do we kind of get through this? Because to be honest, I really don't even quite know what all you guys are talking about, to be honest. To my knowledge, the pool is open. When you talk about FTC, my mind goes to FTC charges money for different classes, so it sounds like maybe they're doing some classes as part of their offering. So I need to learn more kind of about everything that's going on, but I do know that I think we just don't have enough pools in this town, right? And yeah, okay, cool, right? We don't have enough pools in this town. And I don't think this is the only board that and maybe you're talking to the Palm Coast City Council, and maybe you're already talking to the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm just wondering, Superintendent Moore, are you already in conversations on this particular topic? And kind of where do we go from here? Because again, this is just now becoming a theme of swimming. I've been in this seat, I was elected last November, and swimming facilities has been discussed often. And I would just love to figure this out.
So are you saying, as a board member request, are you saying that you would like the board to maybe seek a conversation for something like an interlocal type of thing regarding a pool? Is that kind of what you're thinking as far as your
I don't, thank you,
member
Chair
requests?
Furry. I don't want to make the assumption that there's not already being conversation. So I think I first wanted to check to see, is there already conversation? If there's not, my ask would be whether Chair Furry, it's you as our chair for this board, whether it's Superintendent Moore, that we are reaching out to our community partners, perhaps the Board of County Commissioners, perhaps the City Council, to engage in dialogue.
Well, just to touch on that, I mean, I know that a lot of the talk has been around the YMCA maybe eventually coming, and we don't know when that's going to happen. It's a heavy lift. It would take a lot. I mean, this is something that would not be overnight.
Of course.
But I mean, there's no doubt we are underserved when it comes to swimming pools. I mean, it just, the pool that we have right now is not even designed for the use that it's being used for, but we're making do with what we have. 'Cause we only have 2 pools in town here and only one that we control. So we've got to make it work for all those that are for our programs, and that's the only pool we have. And through facility use, we want to be able to accommodate that as well. But as far as from a board member request, I mean, we could definitely start looking at that conversation, but also that takes the other municipalities to want to open up that dialogue as well. So would you like just to note that you'd like to discuss sort of an interlocal look at a swimming pool?
Can I just share?
Yeah.
We've gone down that road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've gone down that road, and the answer was clearly no.
Right.
We did that with Belterre Swim Racket Club when we were just trying to keep it alive.
Yeah.
And the response was a clear and affirmative no.
So is an action, for those in the room, election season is upon us. Is that an election, as far as like, I'm sitting here, I want to have some influence on this topic, is really the election where I can really make a difference by ensuring I am voting for people who would support things like amenities, like an aquatic center, versus elected officials who say, we have an ocean and that's good enough.
I like this. Sorry, I just want to respond real quick to Dr. Conklin comment, because she's absolutely right. It's not that this hasn't been discussed, right? We've clearly received, we are not interested in time past, right? What I'm just trying to get past right now is we're in the item of board member request. This request may or may not make the next agenda. It could be agenda 6 months from now, but if it is a request, it's something that I want to note and honor that.
Yeah,
So
thank you, Chair Frey. I appreciate it. I, as a board member, I'm a solutions person. We have a lot of board time spent, whether it's conversation here, whether it's public comment on pools. I think I'm just asking, is there a next step? Is there something we can do, that our district leadership can do, that we can do? Is there anything we can do? Because right now, listening to everybody, there are lots of demand. There's a lot of demand for this one facility. And so so that a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 8 months from now, it's not, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just want us to find a solution, and if we need to be leaders in that, how can we do that?
Sure, and I'd like to point, I'm sorry.
I just need clarity on what we're talking about. Like, are we trying to build another pool and get involved with city council
We're not
stuff,
talking about, this is really just, right now, we're not talking about any of this for any solution. This section is board member request, and I'm trying to just get the request so that we can, in the future, address this item when the time is appropriate. I just, because the comments have been focused around swimming tonight and Flagler fluids and all that, this board has, from day one, always supported these programs using our pool. Never was there once a moment where we said, we don't want our facility use partners to use the pool. We've actually made the pool now a student-focused facility, which should open up more access to some of these programs. yours, the Flagler Fluids, and our programs and other community programs. So, Dr. Conklin, go ahead.
I have a request, board request. Can we maybe come up with a clarifying procedure for groups like Fluid so that when they are utilizing the use of facilities, right, that they have the whole facility, that they're not sharing the facility? I think if there's a possibility of on a future agenda item, if we can just talk about, because that's what it sounds like, that there may be some conflict with the use and the scheduling, that maybe we just have that discussion at a future workshop.
Yes, Superintendent, go ahead.
We can definitely bring that forward. I think it's going to be important to this board that we don't look specifically at the program that is before you, but really what is our use of facilities manual and our policy? What does it state? Because we have many different organizations that utilize our facilities. And tonight we're listening and we're hearing about the pool, but we have the same demand on our fields, the same demand on our gym space. And so we can bring forward, and we will be bringing forward, use of facilities in the fall, and we can have that conversation. But I think it's going to be important that we look at use of facilities in its entirety and not just one specific area of that.
Or I don't have a problem with that, including that in the agenda item at all. I'm just, what I'm hearing tonight is there's been some conflict in scheduling and the sharing of the facilities. So I think maybe clarification that if an entity is renting now at this point, renting out a facility, that that facility is truly theirs for that time period. So that's all I'm saying, that we provide some clarification. And who knows if this is an issue on the fields or in other facilities. This is the first I'm hearing that there is a conflict in scheduling. But I mean, as far as the pool goes, yeah, the county should build an aquatic center.
Well, and I just to clarify, I mean, I just think, yeah, it just, I'm just going to repeat, there are limited resources, whether it's field, whether it's pool, and so Superintendent Moore, I trust that you and your team are putting things as fair as possible and what makes the most sense. But then at that point, that's kind of what we have, right? I mean, it's just what we have. So until whether there's a little community pressure or whatever it is, for some tax dollars to be allotted towards more aquatic facilities or field facilities, I guess I just wanted to kind of get to that point of like, it right now, it just kind of is what it is. We have available to us what we have available to us. And to Superintendent Moore's point, it's shared across, whether it's retirees doing laps or whether it's a wonderful, commendable swim team with great leadership, excuse me. But I think we're just in a position where we're needing to make things work as best we can. So it sounds like, yeah, if we can, Dr. Conklin, are you saying at a future meeting we'll talk about use of facilities? Is that what we're doing? And that's really, to my knowledge, the extent of what we are able to do as this board at this time.
Okay, so that's what we'll do.
Okay,
thank you.
Sorry that was a bit of a...
All right, so we'll move to closing comments.
Want me to start? I don't have too much other than to say, congratulations on the coming of the end of a school year. The last week or so has been a little challenging, but I want to commend the staff and the school district and the superintendent and leadership for communicating with parents, for communicating with faculty and staff. I think that's super critical. I know we all had our comments, during the reception for our retirees, but I just want to reiterate again to the community, if you really think about it, 55 retirees. And I said this upstairs during the reception. Every year we have the reception, and you always see a handful of folks that have had over 20, over 30 years. This year we had a significant number of individuals who were retiring with 25 plus years of experience. I think our longest here in Flagler County was Fred Terry at 36 36. But there were a lot of other people in the room that came to Flagler County with education and teaching experience. Margaret Campanella had 41 years in education. And I just want to recognize them once again, 1,000 years between all of them, dedicated to education, dedicated to children, preparing students for the future. And you really just think about that. That is amazing. It's really, truly amazing. And I'm sorry we didn't get to say it again to them in public, right? But I hope that they know how truly, truly much we appreciate and acknowledge the amount of institutional knowledge that is retiring as well. And I wanted to put a plug in for Teresa Rizzo's mentoring program that she needs 50. Coincidentally, 55 are retiring. Just saying. But I do really hope that they get to enjoy the years in front of them after the honorable and noble work they did in education. It's just truly amazing to me. And that's really, I guess, enjoy summer, because that's what's coming next. So great school year, and look forward to the summer planning.
Okay, first of all, every year, U.S. News does educational rankings, every year. And for the 2023 year, the reason I'm saying this is both of our high schools improved. FPC improved significantly, which is, it's just wonderful. It's wonderful to know. And they are nationally ranked 5,739 in the nation, but in Florida they're 300 out of 1,169 high schools. Matanzas, who usually was up above FPC, is a little lower. They rank 302 in Florida, 2 positions. And I was curious about that, and I had to speak to the principal, and I realized I did not know that when they do those rankings, they do not accept ACE classes. And that's a big impact for Matanzas. FPC has the IB program, but Matanzas has the ACE programs, but U.S. News doesn't count them.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. So I'm like, wow. So imagine what would be, and I think they're going to have to do something to fix that, because it just doesn't make much sense to me. But knowing that, I just want to compliment, actually I want to compliment our past superintendent, because she put into place the people who really made the change, and that's the 2 high school principals. We have 2 awesome high school principals who are making positive academic and social changes at each of the buildings, and that's just, will continue, and I know Ms. Moore will continue supporting both of them. So we have to do all we can to keep them going so they can keep their staff going, because that's just, everybody wants to know, how are we doing? We're doing well. Academically, we're doing very well. And when we get a chance to shout it out, we need to. My next comment is actually a loss. I lost a very dear friend, Miss Daisy Henry, that I'd worked with for 20 years. 20 years, Daisy Henry and I, we were friends, and at times we were advocates, and at other times we were adversaries, depending on what the topic was. But I'll tell you one thing, nobody had more heart and more desire for the south side of Bunnell than Pastor Daisy Henry. And I will see her at my meetings. She would be at our school board meetings. She would be at the county council meetings. She would be at the City of Palm Coast meetings. And she always took the position to defend the south side of Bunnell. And I will miss her as a friend and a colleague, and she made me a better person knowing where she was coming from. So just a little bit about that. The group is, the foundation, the Carver Foundation, is sponsoring, in memory of Miss Henry, on Saturday, June 8th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Carver Center, a free Juneteenth Community Festival. They're going to have all kinds of bounce houses and activities and food and fun and music. So I have flyers up here if you're interested, but that's something to do when everybody says there's nothing to do on weekends around here. There's plenty of things to do on weekends. Okay? I don't know if a lot of you realize this, but we actually lost a swimmer at Belterre Swim and Racquet Club this week. Unfortunately, when he was swimming laps. And, you know, that's something that goes with the territory. It's very sad. I know it was probably a friend of some people in here today. And I'm not going to mention his name, but my sincere condolences to his family, because at least he was doing something that he loved, and that was swimming. That was swimming. Flagler Technical College and Road to Success will be graduating on the 28th. That's next Tuesday. I believe it's this time. It'll be next week at the Fitz Auditorium at 6 p.m. As you all well know, we have graduation set for tomorrow. And that's going to be a long day for everybody, but it's a great, exciting day to see 1,000 of our high school seniors moving on into adulthood. What else I have? The last day of school is Thursday. It's a half day. And that night at 6:30 is the Spotlight on Flagler Youth Talent Show in the auditorium. I will be there judging, because it's important to see these kids and they're relaxed, and we've got middle school kids, elementary kids, and high school kids all performing to be named the best entertainers of Flagler County. So if you got nothing to do again, come on out. Love to see you. Other than that, I think it's good to see that we are moving Flagler forward. I realize it's a cliche, and it may be, but you can hear that at least academically, we have proof we're heading in the right direction. So let's continue to do that. Have a great summer, and I look forward to seeing everybody when we get back into school. Thank you.
Will, if you don't mind, I'm so sorry, before more of the students leave, it's not easy to come up and speak to the board. It can be intimidating sitting down there. I know when I go to the county commission and speak to them standing at that dais, it's intimidating. So I just want to congratulate the students that came up and the parents that came up. Thank you for sharing your voice on the topic. It's not lost, and it's a conversation that needs to continue to happen in the public. Ms. Hunt is correct. It's who we ask that question to. Whose responsibility ultimately is it? The scheduling piece we can work on, but really truly what Flagler County needs is an aquatic center, and that's out of our realm. But we support you on that, right? But I just wanted to congratulate you and thank you for coming up, because it's not easy to stand there at all, especially for our students. So thank you. Sorry, I meant to say that. I forgot.
Well, I just want to share in the condolences, certainly, for Miss Daisy and the swimmer at the swim club. I think he was quite young, and definitely a tragedy at any age. On the eve of graduation, which is ultimately why we do what we do, just very excited for our graduates as they go on to the next chapter of their lives. We've got just some really, really talented. We've got our two former student school board members who are just incredible young men, and so many students across Flagler County who are so talented. So congratulations to all of our graduates, again, on this eve of graduation, and wish all families a great summer, since that's also upon us. I did want to also mention, I'm a business person, and so I talk a lot about Flagler Schools being our biggest employer, and a lot of times I think about it so much in terms of the operations of this school, but I tell you what, being a part of the retirement party today, to visit with the employees, to visit with the families, to be reminded that when I talk about the biggest employer, that's Liz and Brun and everybody in the back, and wow, what a village it takes. And I mean, we're going through all these names, and that's just the retirees, right? What a village it takes of dedicated, talented folks to run this district. I'm in awe of the work that is done and the heavy lift that it is. But luckily, that heavy lift is shared by so many, again, very dedicated, talented people. So I just wanted to share that I was really, it was really big to just really very much personalize. We talk a lot here about employees and benefits, but it really is about people. And anyway, so thank you all. Again, condolences, but also congratulations tonight, and be safe. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for this past week to our Flagler County sheriffs and all of our staff and Superintendent Moore for how hard they worked to continue the safety in our schools and on our campuses and around the county. It does not go unnoticed. I'm very grateful to you. I have children in our schools, and I've never doubted that they were not safe, not once. I felt totally confident sending them to school. So just thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. And to our retirees, yes, it's really sad to see so many retiring. And again, many of those teachers have also been a part of my children's lives. Talked to a few of them today, was talking to Coach D, and you just see the passion and the calling that they have to be in our children's lives and to be teachers. So just incredibly grateful for you all. It's a loss. And I hope that we can, also somehow just get more young people into teaching. We need it. For the pool, just thank you all for coming out tonight. We do support you. We want our kids to be active in swimming. My children are in sports too, and it's important to this community. So I know that our district will find a way to work with you all and continue to support you. And just, excited for graduation. It feels fast to me that it comes around. Yeah. I don't know about everybody else,
No,
but
it does feel fast.
It quickly comes around, and I know we're all thankful that we get to be a part of it. So looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah, so I'd also like to just give my condolences to Pastor Daisy and to the person that drowned or had a health incident at the pool. And with Pastor Daisy, I didn't know her a long time, but I did have some meaningful time with her. And, throughout dealing with some things in Bunnell Elementary and through the Carver Center ILA, I learned a lot from this woman. A lot about
history,
a lot about understanding the needs of the community, a different perspective from that community. She had a great way of communicating that, and she didn't mince words sometimes. But I appreciated her honesty because you just knew where she was coming from, what her passion was, and you knew that she genuinely loved her community and wanted the best for it. So I just wish condolences to her family and to the Bunnell community that she so selflessly served. And also to our staff that's retiring, it was such a wonderful day to celebrate you all tonight. And, we're a big organization, as Ms. Hunt said, and it takes a lot to make this happen every day. And we had people that, whether they were teachers, whether they were in the food service, whether they in custodial, these people make this happen every single day. I mean, I remember the name of my custodian when I was in elementary school because that custodian made a point to be involved and impact me. So all the way down there, and it's bittersweet because we hate to see them leave, but I'm really excited for the next stage of their lives. And, and I have to just remember Coach D because, he's been just one of those people that just about everybody that's gone through Old Kings he's touched them in some way. And I remember my wife told me today when I told her he was retiring, it's like the first day of VPK, my son was adamant about not going to school, kicking, screaming, and somehow Coach D was able to calm him down and convince him that it was a good idea to go to school that day. So my wife has never forgotten that, and she told me to send her love to you tonight, Coach D. And so we appreciate all of you. And just moving on to our pool, again, it is a challenge. It is a small pool and has a lot of demand. And we want to make this work for everybody. And if we had the resources to write a check today to say, hey, let's just build an aquatic center, I'd be all on board with that. I mean, I come from a family that we're athletic swimmers. My dad was a high diver. He's been to the Olympic trials twice. I mean, this is something that is something I love, right? And it's been part of my life, growing up. So just know that in no way do we want to stifle swimming here in Flagler County. We want to improve, but there's only so many resources that we have. So we just got to all work together to do best with what we own at the moment. And lastly, I just want to commend our amazing faculty, staff, and our parents and our students who have just endured a week of just uncertainty and, with all these threats that have come in, it's just very unsettling. But, I want to thank our sheriff's office for being so diligent, making sure that every time we take it seriously no matter what. And, I was at at Buddy Taylor Middle School on Friday when that one came in, and I was actually at a meeting with Principal Cronk, just talking to her about it, kind of debriefing, and boom, sure enough, here we go again, another threat, lockdown. And I got to see that team go into action, and I have to just commend them they just knew what to do, they got it into play, sheriff came in, all clear, back to business, back to school. So I really commend her and her team and all of our other school leadership as well. And Superintendent Moore, you had given a good synopsis of everything that's been going on and what's going forward. So if you could repeat that from the workshop today, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening, and yes, it has been a week, but I just want to reiterate a couple points. Our sheriff's office, they are amazing partners, and they do, along with us, take these threats seriously. We do implement our safety protocols each and every time. At this time, the sheriff's office has confirmed that there are other districts that are also experiencing these threats in this same time frame. And at this moment, there is no credible threat to Flagler schools or any of our events. However, again, we do take these things seriously, and we will continue to implement our safety protocol each and every time. We have gotten some questions and comments around, why don't you just call it, right? Just say we're done, we're close to the end of the year. I do want to just, for the benefit of the public, just reiterate, as we discussed in the board workshop, that there are statutes that do govern the number of days as well as the number of hours that we are to be in school in order to issue credits. And so that is one of the reasons why we can't just call it. Number two is we also don't want to set precedent that, in the event that these things happen at other times, that is an option. And so we have done everything in our power alongside our sheriff's office to ensure that we are not at a credible risk or threat. Things that you can see, be it our law enforcement officers there, as well as things that you cannot see, that we are doing in order to ensure that our students, our faculty, and our staff are safe each and every day on our campuses. So I too want to say thank you to our amazing sheriff's office. I want to say thank you to our faculty and staff. On last Friday, we had a group of students on the radio station, and they were talking about safety, and those students stated, never once did I think that my teacher didn't have my back, that my teacher wasn't going to do everything in their power to keep me safe. And we see that each and every day. And I want to say to our students, one, I'm sorry that we are having to experience this, but I also want to thank our students for being very resilient and ensuring that we follow our safety protocols as they are laid out. If anyone has any questions about our safety protocols, they can go to our website and see how we respond in each level. That's that. Graduation is tomorrow for our high schools. Super excited about that. We've had lots of promotion ceremonies at each of our schools. And then we have next week Flagler Technical College as well as Road to Success that will graduate on May 28th. I too want to just recognize Miss Daisy Henry. And this is what I will say that just solidifies what you've said. She was consistent. It didn't matter who it was. She was consistent. And I appreciate that. I appreciate her and her family for all that they have done for Flagler County as a whole. I want to just make 2 points that, you know, typically I don't really respond to some of the comments, but I just want to reiterate kind of process, especially for our families and our students and our pool team, that you are always welcome to come before this board. Always. Anytime they meet, they give you an opportunity to come before. Some things are operational. And so some things you should also make sure that you come through, work with myself, work with our team, because sometimes we can resolve an issue before having to come to the place of the board. Now, that's not to say you don't still come, definitely come. But I think we could resolve some of the things and be able to help provide clarity to the board and not make assumptions of what the problem is, right? Listening to your coach, I'm making an assumption, and I don't like to make assumption, that the issue or concern right now is about the lane use for Flagler Technical College. That's an assumption that I'm making. However, if that information is brought to me, allow me to address it because it is something that's operational, I can also provide you with information and also make sure that this board is in a position to make decision if it is something that is beyond what is operational. And so I'm not at all, saying don't come to the board. I'm saying that some of these things also are things that should be operational that we can work through, as well as allow for you to go before the board as well. Tonight, Ms. Massero, you mentioned the word Flagler Forward, almost like cliche. And to me, Flagler Forward is not very much cliche at all. Flagler Forward is very much actionable. When we look at moving an organization that has experienced a lot of turnover, we have to be extremely systematic. And so when I say Flagler Forward at any point, it is first and foremost about academic achievement, ensuring that we as an academic organization are moving forward. Number two, it is about having strong standard operating procedures that we can implement, utilize, and follow so that there is consistency, there is fairness, we are being equitable in the things that we do. And third and final, when I say Flagler Forward, it is about community engagement and reestablishing what it looks like for Flagler schools to be in partnership with this community. And so for me, it is absolutely not cliche, but it is something that is actionable, that our team has been working diligently for the last year in order to mobilize, and we will continue to do that as we move into the summer, which is a busy time. And I want to just say, people think that the summer we all go home and we're off for the summer, and it is not true. Many of us, especially those of us that are in this room tonight, we will be working all summer long while our students and our families are on summer break. Continue learning, continue reading, moving your body, engaging in academics over the summer as well. We hope you have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. So this meeting is now adjourned.